Hey guys, welcome to my channel, formerly known as Comment Below and Let Me Know, and you can check out all the previous videos that are, well, previous to 2019 anyway, and currently referred to as the Mr. Francy channel. This is a channel where I am going to be talking about books, and more books, because I love to read. Now, just a little bit more background on me. I do love reading, as I just said, but unfortunately in 2018 and in 2019, get this, shock horror, I picked up zero, goose egg, no books at all, and I could give you 1,000,001 reasons as to why I didn't pick up a book, but the fact of the matter remains, I didn't pick up any, and I was very disappointed when I considered the fact that it's been 2 years since I've read something. So I've decided that's going to stop right now. This is my reading vlog for the 20th to the 26th of January 2020. I almost said 2019 there. You know, that's kind of a thing that I have when I get to the first month of the year. It's all about adjusting from what you're so used to referring to the year as. I mean, I think I work it out around about April, but anyway, personal demons. I was considering the replacement. I need to thank both Lisa de Roches and Brenda Yovanov for assisting me to come up with at least 2 books that I'm pretty sure I'm going to absolutely love after reading, say, a third of both of these books and kind of not really liking either of them. Hey guys, what's up? It's Mr. Francy and welcome to my February TBR. Now, if you don't know what TBR stands for, basically it stands for To Be Read, Vampire Academy, volume number 1, book number 1. Yep, volume/book number 1. Vampire Academy on my TBR officially. The Black Witch on, this is a tome on my TBR officially. So I was saying to one of my friends who's getting back into watching the TV show Friends, I said to her, if the entire series of Friends had shown up at your doorstep, how would you feel right now? That's how I feel, because I have the trilogy for the Mistborn series. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Yay! This series I know nothing about. I'm going to turn it this way, sorry. I know nothing, absolutely nothing about this series. All I know is that it's a fantasy. So there we have it, my February TBR in no particular order. My first TBR, Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. If you would like to read along with me, feel free to do so. Book number 2, the tome, The Black Witch, and the third one, Vampire Academy, Volume 1, is my reread that I definitely did not plan to come on here and have a moment to just talk with you guys. Sorry, I'm just wiping away some tears. But I'm sorry. Pull yourself together, Mr. Francy. I have finished Mistborn. And I'm going to say this. If I have ever cried with a book before, I do not remember it at all. I don't think I cried with Harry Potter. Because I've literally just finished this less than a minute ago, I wanted to come on here and show you my reaction to the ending of this book. Brandon Sanderson, oh my god, I'm trying not to cry. Brandon Sanderson, where have you been all my life? This book is amazing, and I am not overstating that. I would have no reason to. The purpose of this channel is for me to be as transparent as I can be about books. If I don't like a book, I'm going to tell you. If I'm going to DNF a book, I'll tell you why. Mistborn is, it's the perfect book. It's going to get my first 5-star review. It's just that incredible. Okay, so welcome to a new category in my booktube of videos. Basically what happens is I discuss what I have been reading, or in this video, what I have not been reading, at the end of each season. Summer is coming to an end. In fact, I'm about a week away, or we are about a week away from finishing summer. This kind of video, which is called the Seasonal DNF video. Succubus Blues by Rochelle Mead. Explain to me, Rochelle Mead, why a succubus, someone as powerful as this lady who, I don't remember her name, a succubus, like Georgina, needs to work in a library. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. Clearly it makes sense for Rochelle Mead because, hey, it's her world and that's what she wanted, but not for me. This is a review on the middle grade horror Goosebumps, My Hairiest Adventure. Now you guys, this is going to be my first 1-star, yes, 1-star review. Now, it was never my goal to start this booktube channel by... I never want to come on here and say, I don't like this book and really put authors down and things like that. I did, however, come into this channel very clearly saying to all of you that if I don't like a book, you're gonna hear about it. I'm not gonna sit here and say, this was amazing, when I did not love it. And I did not love this book. Truth be told, I ummed and ahed for a couple of days over whether or not I should actually even be doing this review, considering I don't like the book. But then I thought I wouldn't be sticking true to my own premise and promise of this channel if I did not include reviews of books that I don't like, as well as books that I do. Let's see what I've been reading so far this week. I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this because I have some things I need to share. This book, okay. This book is called The Hobbit and it is by J.R.R. Tolkien. Okay, let's talk, shall we? And I will be finishing this book tomorrow. Not because I love it, but because I want it done. And in case this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, hello, welcome. I'm Mr. Francy, I like to read. Let's just say that you have a story about a character who has gone to the grocery store and they've been told to buy vegetables to make a salad, basically, or yeah, vegetables to make, yeah, that makes sense. Vegetables to make a salad, and the character goes into the supermarket, but instead they want to buy chocolate, right? Tolkien would write it as, main character, insert their name here, went into the store and eyed the vegetables eyed the vegetables rather offensively, muttering to himself how much he wanted chocolate. Then he will say, now, of course, you and I both know that he would have preferred chocolate, and you and I both know what his mother would have said about this, but the main character did not know what his mother would say about this, so he went into the chocolate aisle. Like, it takes you out of the book. It's time for my June TBR, and excuse me, I'm very excited to be getting to this TBR because the month of May for me was a really good month. In saying that, I have a ton of books that I'm midway through the series of, so a lot of my TBR for June is going to be continued series in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This one, it is called The Last Smile in Sunder City, and it's Leigh Bardugo's The Six of Crows, J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. This is the cover that I have. It is very, very different size, and it is written by Neil Shusterman. Catching Fire. So this is Catching Fire by Susan Collins, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Firefight by Brandon Sanderson. The One, this one, The One, by Kiera Cass. Insurgent by Veronica Roth, Vampire Academy's 5th book known as Spiritbound by Rochelle Mead, Shadows of Self by Brandon Sanderson. These are the first 6 books and these are the second 6 books that I'm going to be reading in June of 2020. Today we are talking about the 10 reasons why I did not like the Lord of the Rings quadrilogy. But now I get to harp on about the worst thing of this book. The number one reason why I don't like the Lord of the Rings quadrilogy is all because of the wizard whose name is Gandalf. Let's begin. Again, I want you to know that I'm referring to the books and not the film. Okay, first things first, I did not enjoy this series. I think that's very clear. You guys can understand that from everything else that I've said. But let's then try and work out who's responsible for this series, and I'm not referring to the writer, I'm referring to within the story who's responsible for this, and that is Gandalf. Gandalf goes to Bilbo in The Hobbit and says, I think you should go on a quest or an adventure or whatever the heck he calls it. Bilbo, and this is in the prologue or chapter 1 of the very first book, Bilbo says, I don't think so, because in Hobbit culture, quests and adventures are looked down upon. They don't like the idea of adventuring or questing, they find it stupid, and they don't want to do it. So he says, I don't think so, and then goes in his house. Then Gandalf marks his door as if to say, ha 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 ha, I'm going to get you to go on this quest anyway, even though you don't care, I want you to, so you will. Today, we are doing the opposite, where I get to gush about my all-time favourite books that I've read for the first half of 2020, my top 10. Now, I need to premise this by saying this was extremely hard to do because I have given 20 of the 50 books that I've read so far 5 stars, and I had to pick and choose, and it's like picking and choosing between your own children. Like, it was not easy to do. Number 10. And it is this book, The Heroes of Olympus, The Lost Hero by Rick Riordan. Coming in at number 9 is Scythe by Neil Shusterman, Steelheart by Brandon Sanderson, Divergent by Veronica Roth, Shadow Kiss, which is the 3rd book in the Vampire Academy series. Coming in at number 5 for my favourite books for the first half of 2020 is this book, The Selection by Kiera Cass, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Coming in at number 3, the bronze medal is not surprisingly by Brandon Sanderson, and it is called The Well of Ascension. This is my second absolute favourite book for the first half of 2020 is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. And if you've been following my channel since January, I'm sure you're not surprised at all which book I am going to be showing you. You know, we've heard of things such as an album, for example, going platinum, or it could go double platinum or something like that. If I could give this book 5 or 10 gold medals, I would. But let's keep it simple and just say it is the gold medal book out of all the books I've read so far in the first half of 2020. My absolute favourite, without a shadow of a doubt to me, and most of you will already know this, is Mistborn, book number 1, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. One of the things I love about having a schedule is that it allows me to tell you guys not only what I'm currently reading when I do my reading vlogs, but also what's coming up for me in case you guys want to buddy read along with me. So if I've just finished reading my books for week 1 and I'm about to go into book 2, my schedule ensures that I can say to you guys, I've just finished reading Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, The Last Smile in Sunder City, and Six of Crows, but going on to next week, I'm going to be reading Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Scythe, and Catching Fire, because I've already got my schedule mapped out, and I don't have to, at the last minute, race around and try and find which books I'm going to be reading next. It's already been organised for me. Alright, so the next thing we need to do, now that we have separated our 12 books into 4 weeks, which means that for me, personally, you may have less, and if you do, that's fine. You just do the simple division again. Calculate the total amount of books that you have by the amount of weeks that you have that month and draw those lines. Today I'm doing my first book haul because I've been receiving so many books this week and I've tried to add them to my weekly reading vlog as little snippets here or there, but today's haul kind of took the cake and it needs its own video. It's important for you to know that I did not purchase any of these books. I got them all from my library, but there's only one or two that I actually requested from my library. So the basic deal that my library has now owing to COVID-19 is that if you sign up, then every fortnight they will send you a book. A book. That was the deal. Instead, my library keeps sending me many books and I want to show them. Another book that intrigued me was this one, The Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper. Gravity of Us by Phil Stamper. This looks like an LGBTIQ plus book, which really does intrigue me because I want to read more LGBTIQ plus books on this channel. I just feel like this book needs to be read by everyone. It is just so beautiful. Now, Phil Stamper is part of the LGBTIQ plus community, but there are other authors who are also part of the LGBTIQ plus community that I don't feel hit the nail so well on the head as far as Phil Stamper has done. So that's why I am just raving so much about this book, because it is just so incredibly amazing. Just go out and get this book, because trust me, you won't regret it. This book is absolutely for you. Unless you are someone who doesn't like romance at all, maybe not, but otherwise, what this book is doing for the LGBTIQ plus community is incredible. So please do pick up this book. If you do pick it up, thanks to my recommendation, please let me know in the comments below. If you have read this book, let me know what you thought in the comments below. It's time for my September TBR. I'm really excited to get into all of these books. So let's get on to seeing what I am going to read in the month of September. The Percy Jackson series. So a couple of months later, I read the book next to it, Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief. While I really loved The Heroes of Olympus, The Lost Hero, I gave Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief 3 stars. I wish I had read them the other way around, because, yeah, I just think I would have enjoyed the Percy Jackson series more had I read it first. So, after reading Percy Jackson and the Lightning Thief, I was done with that series. I did not want to read more Percy Jackson because I was over it. Then, one day, my library decided to send me a whole box of books, and one of the books that was included in that box of books, which I did an unboxing for that, and I'll leave the link to that up there, was, or actually I'm leaving it up there. I don't know why I keep pointing over there. Okay. Calm down, Mr. Francy. I will leave a link to my unboxing of those books over there. Okay. So, one of the books that was in that massive box was this book, Book 2, Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters. So, yeah, check out that video, because I reacted when I got this book. I was done, and clearly the angels don't want me to be done with this series. My October TBR. But first, a reminder that last week I released a video called My End of Year Goals. I have 2 new end of year goals that are going to surface beginning in October and ending in December of 2020. The first of those 2 goals is to complete open-ended series, and the second of those 2 goals was to read books that I had hauled prior to April 2020 that I want to give a chance to before I start doing a mass unhaul, which will be happening either at the end of December or the beginning of January. Let's keep those 2 goals in mind as we progress into what I'm going to read in the month of October 2020. So the first book I'm going to read in the month of October 2020 is the first book I'm going to read from my pre-April TBR. Now, I did a draw. I had a little bucket on me that I used. This is that bucket. And I ended up drawing out 2 books. We don't have those here because there were some issues in editing, so I do apologize about that. But I can show you at least what those books were. And the first book that I'm going to read for my pre-April TBR is this book, Vampire Kisses, by Ellen Schreiber. With the COVID pandemic travel restriction being lifted, I now get to see my mum.
Hi, beautiful. So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Missed you.
And you guys now get to meet my mum.
Hello, everyone. I'm Liam.
Yes. So, do you guys remember how I was telling you that Mum and I have started doing this buddy read thing together that I'm calling Mum and Me? Yeah, so now you guys actually get to meet her. So we're going to talk a bit about what I've been reading and what she's been reading. Now, the last thing we both buddy read was From Scratch.
Yeah.
And that was...
Temby Lock.
Yeah, Temby Lock. And I really enjoyed that. Did you enjoy
that was
it?
good.
Yeah, it was really, really good. So what are you currently reading at the moment?
So currently I'm reading Nonna Knows Best.
Oh, yep.
And I initially thought it would have recipes and stuff in it as well. And it doesn't, so that was a big surprise. But what I have learned is it's Nonna's telling you the stories of life that you should all know in your 20s and whatever, what will happen, what they've gone through, and how they try to help the younger generations to get through what needs to be done. So it's actually really cool how Nonnas look after their family.
Oh, wow. Yeah. But because Christmas is over, now is the perfect time for me to do my very first bookshelf tour. I'm incredibly excited. Okay, on to Mistborn. The Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. The Final Empire, an overwhelming 5 stars. The Well of Ascension, 5 stars. The Hero of Ages, 5 stars. And Mistborn Era 2, the Wax and Wane series. The Alloy of Law, 3 stars. Shadows of Self, 4 stars. And The Bands of Mourning, 5 stars. The standalone Warbreaker, 5 stars. And the Stormlight Archives, The Way of Kings, 4.5 stars. Words of Radiance, an overwhelming 5 stars. And Oathbringer, 4 stars. And that is it. That is my 2020 bookshelf tour.